YouTube? What's up? Pewsily here again. I'm going to bring you today the Fabled World after the new ban list, which kicks in today, which is all good. It hasn't hit this deck a lot. It's probably made it a little bit more even for it, just because there's not as much like back row destruction. Heavy Storm was a bit annoying against this deck because you really needed the back row to protect your monsters. So that was a good thing to go, I suppose. But we'll see how it goes. I'm going to test this again on Saturday and see how it goes. One thing I do want to mention, Dimensional Prison, told you I was going to test it. It's awesome. After every ban list, Gladiators make a massive comeback, so keep that at least side deck, to be honest, because Gladiators have absolutely no answer to Deep Prison. So here we go, I'll start you off with the monsters. Key card of the deck, Fabled Raven. I'm lucky enough to have 3. He's still broke as hell. One of my friends is even thinking of running him in just like an average deck, just as a tuner you can easily modify the level for. So that's always going to be good. The Fabled bit hasn't changed much. You've still got your 3 Grimrows. You have to search Raven quickly. So Kashano, again, same as before. I don't get why people aren't running more of this guy. He's a level 3 tuner that works well with the Dark Worlds. In a cinch, I found myself on the weekend synchroning with Sangan twice. That was nice. So then the synchro with Sangan got me Raven to start dropping Dark World. So that I would recommend when we get the new ones out, which definitely look them up, guys. Fabled Soulkius and Fabled Krus. They'll be coming out in Hidden Arsenal 3 in December. Check them out. They're going to be awesome. They will break Fableds. You're running Dark World monsters, so you want these 2. With Sangan, you can even search Brow. I did that a couple of times on the weekend, so that's nice. And I found room for Gores this time, so Gores hopefully saved me a couple. And we've got Chaos Sorcerer at 2. I was an idiot and traded off one of my Ultras, so I've only got 1 Ultra and 1 Common, which is annoying. 2 Chaos Sorcerer. I wasn't fond of the removal, but I tried it, and Chaos Sorcerer, yeah, it rocks. Definitely run Chaos Sorcerer. Well, along with Gores and everything as well, you've got plenty of nice big beaters to keep you going. Onto the Dark World, you got your, again, main discard fodder. You got your golds and your silvers. Make sure you shuffle your deck really well in between duels, because otherwise the monsters tend to clump together in your deck, and you'll end up with a handful of monsters or a handful of spells and traps. But there you have it. Yeah, 3 golds, 3 silvers. It's just mandatory. You can't change that. 3 Brows, which I am starting to think about. I'm debating, is the draw worth having them in there? At the moment, yes it is. But you never know. If you're thinking of making your own one, try it without them, maybe. Just get the Brows and silvers and, you know, replace the Brows with something else. Maybe even Shining Angel. Get you your Ravens quicker. If you're not as lucky as me to have 3. So there's the Dark World side. Onto the spells. Konami are idiots and gave us this back. It's just, they've given us Dark Hole and this. So you go Dark Hole, clear the field. Monster Reborn, attack for game. It's the most broken late game card ever. And again, your draw power, so just as I've said in the previous one, drawing into Ravens is key. So you've got your card destruction. I got hold of a super one, that was quite nice. And your Dark World dealings, they're a -1 unless you're going to drop a Dark World monster. As I said before, those you want to drop Brow. If you can't drop a Brow, it is nice to drop Silver, which is where your Kashanos come in, because they're level 3. Dark World dealing, drop gold or silver, summon Kashano. It works. It happens more often than you'd think. Another thing, rarity whoring it up. I've got hold of some ultimate Pot of Avarices. 2 of those is definitely the perfect number. I wouldn't recommend really changing that unless you're completely changing the deck, going for something different. And all I did there, Brain Control became a Monster Reborn. Heavy Storm became a second MST. So it looks quite nice. I'm quite pleased with that. I like the Monster Reborn. That's going to work quite nice in this deck. So that's that side of things. Just clean it up. Onto the traps. Same principle as before. Traps are here to stabilise it, I suppose is the word. Because it is still an inconsistent deck. You need to get hold of stuff to discard which is a bizarre engine when you think about it. So Dimensional Prison, like I said, it works really nicely in the deck. I wasn't expecting much from it, but my meta's got quite a lot of glads, so it worked really nicely. You can, you get rid of their big threat, which is their monsters. If you remove a Gladiator Beast from play, they've got no way to get it back. That's a dead monster. So that's nice. Getting rid of Shurers as well is always fun. And it gives you quite a nice thing to side deck as well. So if you find yourself against a deck, I don't know, Burn or something, that's not going to have too much an effect on that because they're not chainable, then side it out, grab something else. Mirror Force is staple. There should be no deck on the planet that doesn't run Mirror Force, unless you're maining 3 Decrees. I decided to stick with Call of the Haunted for now. I'll see how it works in light of the Monster Reborn thing. But yeah, I've kept it for now. Thinking maybe something like Allure or Solemn Judgment, because I don't main Solemn. Haven't mained Solemn in a while. I just don't like the massive life point cost because you've got nothing to back it up anymore. The Forces of Darkness is priceless when you can use it, because you've only got 3 golds and 3 silvers and no way to search them. It's nice to be able to get them back. Chain that to Morphing Jar or Card Destruction is so funny. 2 Bottomless Trap Holes, Standard, and Torrential Tribute. You basically, as soon as your opponent summons anything, want to flip one of those, because pretty much almost guaranteed next turn you're going for it. I found as well, while testing on Saturday, that Thought Ruler Archfiend is really good in this deck. You get him out just as easily as Stardust. There he is. And you can negate Dimensional Prison with him. So he's fun. He says no to Smashing Ground, Dimensional Prison, etc, etc. So he's an alternative to Stardust. I found myself out loads of times with him and Stardust out. Stardust protects you from the Mirror Force, Torrential Tribute, etc. And he protects himself from anything nasty that targets. So he was awesome, just because I'm going to keep repeating myself. It's an inconsistent deck, so you're going to find yourself taking heavy hits against your life points. To be able to get this guy out and then run over a nice big synchro monster to replenish your life points is amazing. So there we have it. The synchro deck that I was running, probably going to change. I was trying Ancient Sacred Wyvern. Do not recommend it. It's, oh, what can I say? Your opponent does everything to get rid of it, so don't recommend that. And you just got Stardust, lots of level 8s to be honest. Didn't find myself getting out level 5s very often, but you can do it. You've got Morphing Jar, Sangan, Brow, etc. That's a Black Rose. So there's the extra deck. Nothing special, like I said. You almost always you're getting level 8s out. So side deck, which I didn't do last time. I sided this in so many times. Skill Drain. Skill Drain does not affect Dark World monsters because their effects activate once they hit the graveyard. So you side in Skill Drain, it really hurts against your Ravens and things, but you can play around it. You know it's coming, so you play around it. You summon Raven, activate his effect, discarding your Dark World monsters. Skill Drain. It's awesome. Side it. Or if you want to have some fun, try maining it. Try maining it, definitely. And the rest is just kind of standard. No One of Extermination is just something to throw in, you never know. With the ban list, I'm expecting Quick Draw Dandy War to come back, which no One of Crossout kills, and it's still an X-Saber format. This says hello to High and Line Gyzaris, so there's nothing special with the side deck really. There's nothing particularly awesome apart from Skill Drain worth siding. But there you have it. If you've got any other ideas or anything like that, let me know. Like I said before, I'm more than happy to try suggestions. If you've got any videos you want me to do as well, let me know. I'll give them a try. And peace out, YouTube.